Welcome into the Greater Texas Ford Dealers inaugural Female Athlete of the Month. From Big Spring to Amarillo, Burke Burnett to Midland, Carthage to Lamesa, Stanton to Mineola, and many points in between. We celebrate the remarkable achievements of female high school athletes based on performances on and off the field and courts. From Class 6A to private schools, it's the Greater Texas Ford Dealers Female Athlete of the Month. Joining me now, one of the fastest swimmers in the state of Texas in the highest classification. She's the pride of Midland High, the one and only Hannah Krueger, who's our Class 6A Greater Texas Ford Dealers Female Athlete of the Month. Well, a big congratulations, Hannah. When you heard that you were the best in Texas, what did you think?
I was kind of shocked. I know that there's some big competition in Texas, so it was crazy to hear that I won this award, and it was kind of encouraging, being like, oh, well, I am pretty good, I guess.
And it's very rare that we have a sophomore win. You're so young, and yet you are so good. It's really amazing. And to think that you've already been to state in swimming, you did that your freshman year. What was that experience like? And you really seem like you weren't intimidated about the stage at all.
Um, I was definitely intimidated, definitely. Um, Making it to state was it was like my main goal last year. I was like, I'm gonna come in here strong. Yeah, it was really fun. It was a really good experience, and I learned a lot from that experience.
Well, you're so young, and yet you're so good. And yet you kind of had a late start to swimming. I mean, you started swimming with really no lessons or anything in the backyard in your family pool, and you didn't really compete until you were 10 years old. What was it about swimming that you fell in love with it?
Honestly, racing. I love to win. It's probably like my favorite thing ever. I'm really competitive. And so I think having like an individual sport where it's like me and the other people racing, that it's just a good competition always.
Did you feel like you were just a natural for swimming? I mean, you had no swimming lessons or anything, and there you are in your pool, and you just realized that you were super fast?
Yeah, I think it just was like it was just meant to be, I guess. It felt really natural and it felt right. So I just
Well,
decided to start.
Well, you competed in the 100 freestyle and the backstroke your
Mhm.
freshman year at state. Talk about that experience and what you took out of that, and how much does it motivate you to get back and taste gold this time?
So the 100 free is probably my best event overall. And so I think that one brings like the most, I feel like, competition and most awards with it, honestly. But it's honestly just like my favorite race. I get to race, and I love to race it. It's just a sprint, so you're done so quick. And then the 100 back, I think I struggled with the backstroke last year. It was like a mental block. So it like wasn't the best that I wanted it to be, but I definitely learned a lot and just kind of learned to like brush off the bad emotions and just hold in the confidence.
And you dumped the backstroke this year to concentrate just on the 100 and the 200, which probably makes a lot of sense because it's kind of the same training. Talk about the thought process during that.
So it was between the two free and the 100 back again this year. But we decided to choose the two free, just like me and my coaches, because I'm training. My big goal this year is to make the Olympic trials, and that's a long course event. And high school is a short course event. So it just makes more sense to train the two free instead of the 100 back when I'm trying to get the Olympic trials cut. And the 100 free long course, it's a big deal, but it makes more sense to do the two free, and it'll just be better overall.
And the thought that you could do this as just a sophomore in high school is pretty amazing. You've already competed in the USA Swimming Winter Junior Nationals as only a sophomore this past December. That's the fastest meet in the nation for anybody 18 and under. What did you take from that experience to make you realize, hey, I'm not that far away. I'm literally just 2 meets away from getting to the US trials?
Yeah. Um, I think it was really good to see competition like that. It's not competition that you see every single day. And it was a good experience because the higher the meets they get, like the more similar they are. So like it's ran similarly, and it's good to like have a routine going to that and having like the confidence in the back of your head, just like, oh, I've done this once, I can do it again.
So you talked about the Olympics. You want to get to the trials. How much of a dream is that for you? And being so young, I mean, it's crazy to think that you could actually be swimming at the Olympics this summer, and you're going to get many chances at doing this.
Mhm.
With the way your birthday works out and all that. Is this the dream? Is this the goal?
Yes, this is definitely the dream right now. Like this season, this is kind of the main focus, just striving for the big goals. It makes it a lot, just something more to work for. I think like when I had first started swimming, it was kind of like when it first like clicked, probably when I was like around 11, I was like, oh, I really do like this sport. And so I went on the computer and printed out this like image and it said like try, try, try with the Olympic rings at the bottom. And I like had a little frame of it in my room and it's still on my bedside table. So I think it's just always been a dream just sitting there.
I think it's so fun to watch you swim, and I'm sure spectators feel the same way. It almost seems like you're not in the water. You're kind of like on top of the water. Is that the focus? Because you're so darn fast. I mean, I kind of feel like you're not even in the water.
Yeah, that's the goal. It's really good to be high on the water. It definitely feels way better. So,
Well, you broke Olympian Natalie Hines' record in the 100 freestyle. That goes back 2 decades, that record. She's also a Midland product. I don't know what it is, but something in that Midland water that really breeds Olympian swimmers. And then you broke your own record. What did that mean to you?
um, it was really exciting. It definitely, it's more honestly like you want to break the other people's records. Like Natalie Hines, that was insane. But when it's my own record, it's like I want it even more. Like I know what I know what I need to do. I know what I need to work for. So I think it just makes it honestly easier and more exciting when you get to break your own record.
Very impressive stuff. And I know you have a shrine in your own room there with Hines and Katie Ledecky.
I
Pretty cool
do.
that they've written notes to you. Tell me a little bit about that.
So with the Natalie Hines thing, she came to Midland for, I think she was getting inducted to a Hall of Fame for the Midland ISD. And so she came up to COM and did a little clinic and stuff. So I got to meet her and we kind of just like talked a little bit. And she gave me a cap with her signature on it. And then that Christmas, my parents got me a little shadow box with all of like the stuff she had signed for me and stuff. And then for Katie Ledecky, we have some friends that are here around Midland that they're related to her. And so they worked it out to get a little note and some cool gear for me.
Very nice. How much do they inspire you to be like them and do it on the world's biggest stage?
I think it's a big inspiration because like everybody starts somewhere, everybody starts when they're young and it just shows that when you keep working and work every day, then it pays off. So
Well, let's talk about your maturation process. You've had some unbelievable coaches along the way. Coach Stan, who's a former Olympian, is your
yes.
first coach. He was a
Yes.
guy that saw something in you and put you on your very first swim team. How much has he meant to you in your swimming?
He's really the one that kind of made it click for me. I think I was really intimidated to start with him. He was kind of scary to have as your first coach. He was Russian, so he's very like stern and very straight to the point. And starting with him when I was 10, I was so intimidated. But um, he kind of just like he kind of eased me into it. He really did see the potential in me. And so he just showed me like this is what you can do. And I think it made a big difference.
And then you move on and you have these two great coaches that are working together to help you become the Olympian that you dream and really want to aspire to be. They actually work together with your workouts and all that. Your high school coach, Steve
Mhm.
Flato, who does an amazing job, and then Coach Jenna, who's your club coach. Talk a little bit about them and what you've learned from those two to get you where you are now.
Coach Jenna is definitely really smart on like the mental side of things. She's very big on mental health and having the confidence and just knowing that you put in the work and you can get the benefits out of the work. And she's really good on making that a key point in everyday workouts. And I think Coach Flato does a really good job on like the workout standpoint. Like he knows you need this to accomplish this. And I think that those two together, it's a really good mesh and it can be beneficial for anybody.
Tell me about an average workout week for you. How many hours, how many practices, and when does it start? Because I get the sense it's very, very early in the morning.
Yes. Let's see. We have one practice Monday in the afternoon. The afternoon practices are 3:30 to 6 every day. And
Oh,
then on Tuesdays and Thursdays we have doubles. So we'll have 6 to 7:30 in the morning, and then 3 to 6 or 3:30 to 6 in the afternoon. And then Saturdays we swim 7 to 9:30.
now football doesn't even have two-a-days anymore. What are you doing? I
I
can't even
know.
imagine all the swimming and all the time, and you're doing that. That's pretty crazy, crazy stuff.
Yeah. It's crazy. It definitely gets tiring, but it's a lot of fun.
Well, you have tremendous athletic ability. I know you dabbled a little bit in volleyball. You're such a good athlete. What was it that what did you like about volleyball? And when did you kind of come to the decision that I'm going to focus on nothing but swimming?
So I've been playing volleyball since I was probably in like fourth grade, like started club team. And I love volleyball. It was so much fun. I miss it still sometimes today. But I just like last year after volleyball season was over, I just knew that this year is a big year for swimming. Like recruitment wise and Olympic trials wise, like it was just a big year. I needed to focus on the main goals, and I knew that swimming is something I wanted to do in the future. So
Well, I know you've had great coaches along the way. You've also had great teammates and great friends that have been big in swimming. And one that jumps out to me is your good friend PJ Day, who went to state every single year in the breaststroke. She
mhm.
is on a full ride scholarship in swimming at the University of West Virginia. Tell me what she has meant to you.
She honestly, she was just like kind of a person that I knew that swam growing up, and it was kind of always like when I thought about swimming, I would be like, oh well, she swims. And so like kind of as I started swimming, I was progressing and she was progressing, so we kind of swim at some of the same meets and got to know each other better, and we honestly just became really good friends and close friends that we just like love to train together, and it makes it so much fun and going to meets together. Just really nice to have a buddy that is can push you and kind of has the same goals and work ethic.
You have another teammate, Jake Shelton. It seems like every time you guys go into a meet, you're representing really well for Midland High. The two of you won district championships. How much do you two push each other, and how much do you enjoy competing with him? And who's better? Who could beat each other one on one?
If we're talking like logistically, it would be him, but I think um every day I would say it's always a good race. The boys and I are always pushing each other, so it's really fun.
How about his prowess? I know today was a big signing day for him, and where he's going to college. You're going to be a part of that.
Mhm.
What do you think about his swimming and where his future lies?
I know that he has really enjoyed swimming. He moved here from Houston a few years ago. But he also played water polo when he was growing up in Houston. And so I think that's always like a big deal of his. He wants to go play water polo. So I think he's gonna do a couple years at UTVB, and then he's gonna go play water polo somewhere, which I think will be really good for him because I know he misses it.
Well, you come from an amazing family of extraordinary athletes. I mean, it's pretty impressive. Your brother, of course, a stud in football and in baseball. Both your mom and dad were athletes at Midland High. Mom starred in basketball and volleyball. Made it all the way to the quarterfinals in basketball. Dad played football and baseball. We all know that Midland High is a traditional powerhouse when it comes to baseball. What are the family picnics like? Because I just picture you guys having competition after competition out there.
Yeah, it's always everything is a competition, like everything. Like we'll even be like stretching and be like, I bet you can't touch your toes. Like it's everything is a competition.
Now, you're the only one in the family that's gone to state. Do you remind all your family members about that?
Oh, definitely my brother for sure.
How much have your parents meant to you just with all the sacrifices that they make, driving you around all these meets and flying you because you're like an international swimmer?
They're like my favorite people ever, and it's so like it's amazing of them to just like drop everything when I do need to be at the pool or to be in a different country, or not different, oh my gosh, a different state, not a different country. But it's like just so fun, and I'm so thankful for them because I could seriously not do what I'm doing without them.
Now, both your parents are members and very proud members of the Texas A&M Mafia. I know you've been there, and I know you're still young. You're only a sophomore, but what are your thoughts about college and any schools that you would like to swim at?
Well, I definitely want to swim in college, and my options are pretty open. I'm just keeping them open. I can't be like talked to yet, because I'm still a sophomore, but a dream is definitely A&M. I would love to swim at A&M. I love the culture there, so.
Well, A&M needs to get on this immediately. Well, one hidden fact about you, you were born at 3.5 pounds and 10 ounces and spent a month in the hospital. You dipped under 3 pounds, had to have a monitor to kind of navigate your breathing to get through that for a very, very long time. Now I look at you, you're 5'7", a world-class athlete. You truly are a miracle. When you hear those stories about when you were a little baby and struggling to survive, what do you think? Because I know your mom and dad are so proud of you.
I feel bad for my parents. Like, that's so scary having to deal with something like that. But I'm so thankful that they got me all the help that I needed that got me this far.
You have such a competitive drive and just, you want to compete. Where do you think that comes from?
I think my parents, we just kind of like, I guess my whole family, all of us are competitive, and we, I don't know, we love sports, like every sport. We're always watching sports. We're always picking sides. I don't know. I think it's just like my whole family. We're all competitive.
Your mom kids around that, if they challenged you and said, hey, if you win that meet, we're going to get you a pony or a car, you would rather Taylor Swift tickets. What's up with
Yeah.
that?
Oh my gosh, I love Taylor Swift. It's like she's like my favorite person ever. I wait for new music to come out and everything. Like, it's a dream to go see her. I went to go see her in March, and I would love to go see her again.
Now, you actually use her music as your walkout song, right? How does
Yes, I
that
do.
go over at the meets? And what are your choices there?
So one of the coaches, is a really good friend. Like, we're just good friends. And he knows that I love Taylor Swift. So I'm like, okay, when I'm about to race, you play Taylor Swift. And so it's just like gets me hype. It makes me want to race, and it just puts me in a good mood. And then but like when I do get to pick a song, I do pick Taylor Swift. I think it just is, I don't know, makes me bubbly and fun.
Which songs do you pick?
Cruel Summer for
Okay.
sure, and Bad Blood.
I like that, and I'm sure your competition does not when they hear that because they know what's about to happen. No doubt about that. I think about Taylor Swift. She's going to Super Bowls and stuff. She
Yeah.
could go to the Olympics and watch you sometime. That would
Yeah,
be
that would be amazing.
that'd be a great, great thing. Well, you received a letter in academics. You're a straight A student. Why is the classroom so important to you?
Um, I think honestly some of it just comes naturally to me. I'm a hard worker, and so I think like when I work hard, good grades just come with that. And I also think it's like some competitiveness. Like, I don't want other people to beat me. So I'm gonna try a little harder.
Now, you're also a symphony belle and do a lot of volunteer work, and you do that with
Mhm.
some of your great friends that you've had for so long. Talk about that program and why that's so important to you.
It's really fun because at the end of the year you get to go to a big dance with and the girls ask the guys. I don't know, it's really fun. But it's really nice to just get out there and do something that you don't do every day. And when people need help, it's just always easy to be like, "Oh yeah, I can help." So, I think it just makes volunteering a little easier, and it's easier when there's a reward. So,
Well, Hannah, so fun to celebrate you. It's going to be really
thank
fun to
you.
watch you in the future. We can't wait to see you in the Olympics. We know it's going to happen. I'm hoping it's happening this summer. Congratulations on being the Class 6A Greater Texas Ford Dealers Female Athlete of the Month.
Thank you so much.
Your Greater Texas Ford Dealers is so proud to recognize the hard work, dedication, perseverance, and passion of so many Texas high school female athletes who inspire us all. Here's this month's winners. And don't forget, you can see their interviews at Greater TX Ford for Greater Texas Ford Dealers. From Class 1A to 6A, plus private schools, we celebrate them all. Thanks so much for watching the Greater Texas Ford Dealers inaugural Female Athlete of the Month. See you next time.